Hey guys, it's Mike with Riding in the Ozarks, and today we're working on the Sportster Project bike. So recently I did a video where I put a new battery in this bike and got it started. It does run. I've rode it up and down the road a few times. I bought this bike almost 2 years ago. At the time I thought I was going to make a dirt drag bike out of it because Flatheads was doing that. Well, that stuff all kind of fell away and they're not doing that anymore. So Firecracker would like to make a chopper out of it. I don't know what we're going to do with it. The headlight has got to go. Turn signals. I don't like the bars, and they're not wired right. They're cocked forward, and if I cock them back, it won't start. So there's a short in there somewhere. They actually, let me show you this. You won't believe what they did. Yeah, apparently the brake line wasn't long enough, so we just cut it and put hose clamps on it and think that is an acceptable solution. Isn't that terrible? When I push the brake, this whole line like flexes. You can see that in there. Maybe if I can hold the camera still. Anyway, but yeah, this flexes with tension when I press the brake. I mean, it works, but it's we're not riding like that. I bought it dirt cheap, so I'm not complaining about the way it is. It does run. I mean, and for what I paid for it with the good title and stuff, I'm okay with that. But it's got 70,000+ miles on it. There is like a noise from the primary. I don't know if the primary chain is too tight or what's going on there, but I've never even changed the fluid on it. I mean, I probably only put 20 miles, maybe riding up and down the road here locally because it's not licensed. Just testing stuff like after I put the new battery in, things like that. So we're going to do an oil change hunt today. Who knows when the oil was changed on this thing last, because I'm sure the dealer I bought it from did nothing. It was as is. They took it on a trade and obviously wasn't something they could sell on their lot the way it was. So rather than putting effort into it, they made me a hell of a deal on it. So let's drain the oil first and see how bad that is, and then we'll get into the primary. All right, guys, when you're going to change the engine oil, you're supposed to let the engine warm up. So I'm going to start the bike and let it run for a few minutes, at least get it a little bit warm. We'll check the fluid level just to see where it was before I drain it to see if it was low or anything else. And maybe that'll tell us if it's even been looked at in years before I bought it. Let's see here. Probably ought to choke it. This is a 1998, so it is carbureted. All right, we've turned the bike off. Let's pull this dipstick here and see what we got. Well, let's wipe that off and plug it back in and see if we can get an accurate reading. Got it all cleaned off. See what we have now. That sure looks like that's above the add line. Guess we'll jack it up and see what we have when we drain it, what it looks like. I like to use these disposable pans so I can see what the oil looks like. Then I usually turn around and drain this into a container or a big drain pan that I have, and then I clean this and reuse it time and time again for a couple bucks. It's been a long time since I've owned a Sportster, but as I understand it, this should be the drain hose here, and it just plugs into a plug basically there. You take this off the frame so you can run out. Let's see if I got that right. I'm going to go ahead and drain that oil into this pan, put the plug back on, the hose back on the plug, and we'll see if there's any materials or anything in the bottom of this pan, kind of the sediment that maybe is settled in the bottom of it. The oil is black, but it doesn't look terrible. It's not milky. It doesn't look like there's been any water particularly built up in it or anything like that. So that's a good sign. All right, so I see a few particles kind of maybe in there and stuff, but I don't see a lot. There was crud on that rubber hose that was falling in the pan and everything else, so nothing I'm excited about. I'll dab my fingers in some of it and make sure it doesn't feel like it's hard metal, but I don't feel any chunks or anything like that. Feels pretty organic type stuff. So I think we're pretty good. Let's go ahead and plug it up and put some oil in it. Before I fill it, I'm going to go ahead and get this oil filter off. Now, it's pretty much a straight shot down to the oil pan, so I'm not going to use that little funnel for this one. I don't have as much stuff underneath the oil filter. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So, the oil filter there doesn't really set above the engine. I've got a mount and stuff like that for the frame, but I think it'll just drip straight down into my pan there. So let's give it a try. I cracked it loose and she's running straight down into the pan, which is kind of nice not having it run all over the engine. Now, of course, you want to make sure the rubber gasket doesn't stick to this surface. Having it stick there and then putting a new filter on will be double gasketed, and that is bad. That will make them leak. So we'll clean this off, but obviously you can see the rubber ring did not stick to the housing. So I'm going to be using some Bel-Ray 20W50 mineral oil in this for V-Twin. There is my filter. This one here from V-Twin Power comes with the little nut on the end that I like. I don't know where I got this one from, but I think JP Cycles. Now, because it's got a nut on the end, it won't sit flat, so I drop it back in the box to hold it. And then I'm going to do that thing where you pour just a little bit of oil in the oil filter and dab it around on the rubber seal to help get it to seal up cleanly. Just take your finger and run around that seal, although this seal looks like it's almost lubed from the factory. It looked wet and felt a little wet, but hard to tell. So let's see if we can get this on there without making a bigger mess. Now, hand tight. And I can get a pretty good grip on this, so. That should be plenty. But because it has a nut on it, it'll be easy to get off. Fun fact, this is a 1998 Sportster, carbureted. The Sportster originally came out in 1957, and Harley-Davidson retired it in 2022 after 65 years. And when the Sportster was in production, everybody whined and cried and said, "That's a girl's bike," if you were seen riding one. Unless, of course, you chopped it up or did something cool with it. Now that they're no longer producing it, everybody's whining and crying that they can't buy one. Well, with well over 1 million produced, there are a lot of late model, low mile Sportsters available in the used market, in case anybody's looking. Just fun fact. With filter, this is supposed to be 3 quarts. So we'll put 2 in, measure it, make sure that we need more, probably add a little more, then start it and run it, and then finish it out based on the dipstick. I don't have an actual service manual for this. I have the owner's manual. I'm basing my information off of that. That's one reason I'm going to double check everything against the dipstick, because ultimately that's what you want. This particular model is supposed to be checked upright and not on the jiffy stand according to the owner's manual. This bike is actually a 1200 custom. When I bought it sight unseen, I thought I was getting an 883, but we've confirmed the stamp on the cylinder shows it's a 1200, and that's what the title says and the VIN numbers match. So lucky me. Now guys, leave me a comment. Let me know. I think we've decided what we're doing with this bike, assuming that the motor turns out to be okay. I'm a little worried about that noise in the primary. We'll see what that fluid looks like. Maybe look at the adjuster here in a second. But, you know, some people say chop it. I think that's what April wants to do, is chop the neck and rake it out. I don't think we're going to make it a hardtail, so it may not be technically a chopper. It'll just be chopped and raked. Maybe some rabbit ear bars. I don't know. We'll see what we can do with it. Some people say put it back to factory, restore it. This is an anniversary edition. Some people say make a dirtster out of it. What would you do with it? Project bike. Just want to have fun working on it. Really, I like working on bikes, and this is more affordable and older, and want to do something kind of cool with it no matter which way we go. So let me know what you would do with it if it was your 1200 Sportster from 1998. And don't tell me to put a hammer kit on it, because I'm not putting that kind of money in a motor with 70,000 miles. Just, no, if I was going to do that, I'd buy something more recent with better suspension and all that if I was going to try and make more of a performance-oriented Sportster out of it. We're just above the bottom line. I'm sure when we run it, it'll filter some of that up, fill the filter and stuff like that. So we're definitely going to need to add some more to it. All right, guys, much like a V-twin, primary drain bolt is right here on the bottom of the primary. And you fill it through this inspection plate for the clutch. Now, I always take these loose first before I drain it, because if I strip a bolt and I can't get this off, then I've drained it and I have no way of getting fluid back in it. So that's what we're gonna do first, is get that loose. One of these looks really bad, ripped up. Uh-oh. You can see maybe even the burr there where they ripped that loose trying to get that out. That's gonna be a tough one. Probably need to order a new bolt for that one no matter what, and replace it as soon as possible. Well, wish me luck. We're gonna start with the top. T27 feels right in the good ones. And we need a smaller drive. That's 1/4 inch drive. Yep. Not even gonna think about it. Walks right out. I could possibly drill it out. Maybe we can get a straight screwdriver or something big in there. Just drive it in with the hammer enough to break it loose. I saw a set of tools at Sturgis. May just have to go buy them and see if they're any good on my own. We'll find out, because I haven't heard back from them, and this is the ideal kind of bolt of what they say their tool will take loose. So we may pause the video right here until we get some grip right tools if I can't get it loose with something else.
3 weeks later.
Look at that. Look at that, baby. Grip right. I guess I'll be ordering a set of these. They're expensive, but it worked. You know, I mean, I paid like 10 bucks for just the one to try it, but I guess I'm gonna be needing to get a set of them now. All right, well, that socket sure enough broke that bolt loose. There was another one that was really bad, broke that one loose too. So all I can say is that grip edge tools with the grip right technology stuff, whatever they're calling it, it worked. It worked in a way that nothing else was going to work, but probably maybe drilling it out or cutting a slot in it and trying to chisel it out in a circle. This was a lot better. $12 for the socket, but got the job done. I'm impressed enough that I'll consider maybe buying some more of their tools, maybe a whole set. Well, it's definitely not over full, because when the bottom popped loose, nothing came out. These screws are pretty bad shape, so I ordered 4 new ones from the dealership. I'll put all new fasteners in when I put it back together. Let's see how bad this looks on the inside. Well, I can see some fluid down in there, but it's down in there for sure. I'm gonna put my new Olight flashlight to the test here, so I can see some fluid down there, but it's way down there. See it down in there? So there I can get my finger into it at least. There's definitely a little material on that magnetic bolt. Well, it didn't take long for it to go from a real flow to almost no flow. I'm gonna guess because those bolts were boogered up, they couldn't put fluid in it, they couldn't change it, so they just rode it like that in the past and never worried about adding anything to it. It's probably been low on fluid. Magnetic drain plug definitely hasn't been changed or cleaned in a long time. So we're gonna get that all cleaned up, put a new gasket on it, put this back together, put new fluid in it. While I have it apart, I'm gonna see if I can get this inspection cover off and check the tension on the primary in here as well. One's loose. here's our primary chain. And that's how much play we have in it. I'm going to check the manual to see about if it needs to be tightened up any or if that's okay. And then we're going to go ahead and put our new O-ring on our drain plug and put it back in there. Normally I'm really good about using a torque wrench, but I can't get one on this based on that rubber stop, so I'm doing it by feel. We have more than 3/8. We have more than a 1/2 inch. Broke that lock nut loose. That's loosening it. It's a little better. That's about 3/8. So we're gonna try it there. See if this thing sounds any better this time. This particular year uses 1 quart. I'm going to use some heavy duty primary chain case oil from Spectro. The manual calls for like 80W140. This says it's particularly for Sportster transmissions and primary chain cases. I'm going to go ahead and use this. I'm sure it's going to be a lot better than what was in it no matter what. Go ahead and get this cover back in here. I'll probably order some of these bolts the next time I'm at the dealership, or I'll find some online just to replace them because the heads on these were not exactly perfect. Get some new rubber O-rings for this too. Well, I just checked the fluid level and with it filled up, and of course I'm sure there's a little draining down, but it's definitely higher than it was before, and maybe not a lot higher, but it was definitely a little low before. Let's go ahead and put this back together. I should have bought a new gasket for this, but I did not, so I'm gonna have to probably order one of those too. I've only owned one other Sportster, and I didn't do much maintenance on it. I only had it for a few months and flipped it and doubled my money. So I don't know that I have stuff laying around here that fits these. I'm gonna have to start being more prepared, figuring out what gaskets I'm gonna need, that kind of stuff before I get into these. The dealership's 100 miles away, so it's either order it online or pick it up next time I'm there. I'll probably call and order it over the phone. We'll be down there here in a few weeks, so we'll get this stuff. Now I might take this back apart and replace that, just because who knows how long it's been there, and the gasket looks a little rough down here on the bottom. I knew these bolts were bad. I did go ahead and order all new bolts, so putting it back together with good clean bolts, try not to mess them up during assembly. Torque on these is like 84 to 108 inch-pounds, like most primary derby covers. All right, well, the 98 Sportster's got new fluids in it at least. We'll be working on that some more this winter. I've got some headlights and some lights for it and stuff to at least get the front end cleaned up and then figure out what we can do about the back end, because none of it works at all. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Y'all stay safe, keep on riding, and leave me a comment. Let me know what kind of projects you're working on in the winter. See you in the next one.